Welcome to the Bushido gang. What's up, guys? It's Attack on Samurai, and welcome to week 4 of the HDL. Actually, this is technically week 5, but basically this is week 4. So, anyways, week 4 we're battling Finn, coach of the I don't even know how to pronounce that. Werkelijke. I don't know. Let's just say the Wurmpies. Finn, coach of the Wurmpies. So Finn's draft is very trick room heavy, like super trick room. Is pretty much all trick room. He's got Teambuilder, Cresselia, Sakataka as his Zmon, Alolan Marowak, Kofagrigus, Regice, Mega Ampharos, Slowking, Porygon 2, Reuniclus, and then lastly Mimikyu as his Z user. So the thing I realized about his team is that, like I said, his team is very trick room heavy, and the fastest mon on his team is pretty much Mimikyu. So really what I have to try and do is like stop him from setting up trick room, because if he does, then it's not gonna be great for me. But anyways, this week I'm bringing with me Soul the Mega Absol, Joe the Rampardos, Spike Lee the Ferrothorn, Red Handed the Rotom Heat, Mai the Gardevoir, and then lastly we have Flyboy. I don't think I've actually brought up Flyboy since like week 1, or I don't think I've even brought it up at all. So yeah, we're bringing Flyboy this week as the final member for this team. So this is kind of, so basically the idea of my team is to kind of like, okay, actually I'll talk about what their movesets and such. So first off, we have Soul. So Soul the Mega Absol is going to be physically offensive with knockoff, superpower, play rough, and then last move, me first. So the one thing I realized about his team, well, actually, like one of the guys in my draft actually told me. Well, actually, nah. Well, they recommended that someone recommended that I should bring Mega Absol with me for this week. So I decided to go Mega Absol for this week because it really does pressure his team quite a lot. Teambuilder is the best mon for him to actually deal. Is the best mon to actually check this. So yeah, but basically the moveset though, knockoff hits everything really hard. Most of his team consists of like psychic types and ghost types, so they're really not going to appreciate a knockoff from this, especially mons like Alolan Marowak and like Porygon 2 really doesn't appreciate a knockoff from that. Superpower is there to check Stack Attacka, and then Play Rough is there for the Mega Ampharos. Me first. Okay, so the reason why I have me first on this on Mega Absol is so that way we can reverse Trick Room on any of his mons. There's a chance that none of his mons will actually set up a Trick Room on Mega Absol, except for maybe some of his fat mons like Porygon 2, maybe even Mimikyu to some extent. But I think Mimikyu would just attack us. Stack Attacka even. Crest is the biggest one though. Since it can just set up anyway for real, so that's probably the best mon from to actually use Trick Room on us on Mega Absol. This or Porygon 2. Porygon 2 is probably the best one too. I mean, it's better, but I think Crest is actually better because of its bulk and such. So we can just set up a Trick Room on a mon like this. But yeah, we can reverse Trick Room, and we can get off a knockoff on his switch in. And yeah, just get some chip damage off and such. So yeah, that's pretty much Mega Absol. And Mega Absol is actually going to be the fastest mon on this team for this week. So next we got Joe. So Joe's job on this team is to get rocks up and pressure him a little bit. His moveset is Iron Head, Stone Edge, Stealth Rock, and Crunch. I also don't have any speed investment on it as well because, like I said, I want to try and like take advantage of his Trick Room too, even though his team is actually a lot slower than mine. But so I can at least do something under Trick Room with Rampardos. But specifically though, I want to try and get rocks up because rocks actually mess him up quite a bit. and we could potentially like break sashes. Even though his team is really fat for sash, so it probably doesn't need it, but we can still like chip his team down quite a bit. He doesn't really have a way to get rid of hazards outside of. Honestly, he doesn't have a way to get rid of hazards. So yeah, rocks are gonna mess him up. So yeah, Ironhead is there for our Mimikyu. With Mold Breaker, we can actually knock out Mimikyu. With the we can knock out Mimikyu from full. So yeah, and we can also go through his disguise as well because of Mold Breaker. Edge is there to check Marowak and such, and then Crunch is there for the ghost types, like again Kofag and Slowking and such. So yeah, that's pretty much the set. We're also Focus Sash so that we can at least live one hit and get some chip damage off, or even get rocks up. So yeah, next we have Spike Lee. So this was okay. This one was a fun idea in my head that I think would actually like throw him off really hard. So I'm running Choice Bandit. I'm running Choice Bandit Ferrothorn, max attack, 248 in HP, and then 8 in Spadef, with the moves Power Whip, Gyro Ball, Knockoff, and Spikes. So basically, what I want Ferrothorn to do is kind of like pressure him a little bit. Like get spikes up continuously, and then like throw off a really powerful move that he's not gonna expect, because like no one really expects Ferrothorn to be ran Choice Banded or anything. So we can take advantage of Trick Room and get a ton of damage off on any of his mons. He doesn't really have a good grass resist outside of like, honestly his only grass resist for real is Mega Ampharos. So Power Whip is gonna hurt a lot. Power Whip is gonna hurt a lot. Gyro Ball is gonna hurt pretty hard too, and then we have Knockoff to like again like chip him and also get rid of items. So yeah, because we're Ferrothorn, we actually allow like mons like Marowak to come in, so we can predict Marowak to come in, go for a Knockoff on the switch in, and get rid of it right away. So yeah, I think I'm pretty much kind of forced to do that because Marowak is really a big problem. So yeah, we can get spikes up though, but I think I'd rather get spikes up on a mon that can't really touch us. So like Cress or even Sack Attacker to some extent, if it's not running superpower. But yeah, that is pretty much Ferrothorn's set. Again, I think Spike Lee is probably gonna put in the most amount of work if I can like get it set up right. Let me get it set up properly. Next we have Red-Handed, the Rotom Heat. So Red-Handed's job for this week, I really couldn't figure out what to do with it. I kind of just decided to go like more defensive, because I think a defensive set actually helps quite a bit with this team. Specifically because this team is just so like physically offensive. Well, it's weird. It's a weird team, but it's more physically offensive. So I decided to go with a physically defensive Rotom with a little bit of investment in special defense. With the moves Protect, Toxic, Volt Switch, and Overheat. The Protect Toxic set is just there to like break down his fatter mons like Regice, Kofag. Like his team is just really fat, so my job with Rotom is to just wear him down like a lot with Toxic. We can also Volt Switch out too, since he doesn't really have an electric immunity, so we can just Volt Switch out on whatever, and then with Overheat we can like threaten, or we can get some chip damage on like Regice and such, and yeah. Again, I don't really see us using Overheat a ton, but I think it'll definitely like chip his team down quite a bit. So yeah, we're also lefties as well, so we can get some health back from the Protect and Toxic stall a little bit. So yeah, next we have Mai. So Mai's job on this team is to trick his Trick Room users and have them locked into a move. So I can actually like taunt them, and then potentially like, I can't really set up with anything on this team, unfortunately. I actually thought about running SD on Soul, but it didn't really work out. But at least on the bright side, we can like force switches with taunt. So there's that going for us. But yeah, specifically I want to trick like Cress or just trick one of his mons. That could be a problem. I really don't want like Mimikyu to get tricked, because if Mimikyu gets tricked, then it's definitely gonna outspeed Soul. But the thing about Mimikyu being tricked is that it can't get tricked anyway. It's Z move. If you run Z move, But yeah, again, I want to trap his. I want to trick his Trick Room users. So that's basically Gardevoir's goal. We also pressure his team quite a bit too with Psychic and Focus Blast, specifically on Kinkeldr and like Stack Attacker, since those two are going to be the main attackers for his team. So we can wear them down quite a bit as well. So yeah. Oh, I forgot to change the ability to Trace. My bad. With Trace, we can actually like copy other abilities and such. So I guess we could, if we somehow, if we get to if we can like get Sakataka's Beast Boost, we could potentially like get like a little bit of a snowball effect going on, and then just start like sweeping through teams. But I can't really do that unless like Crest is gone and his other Psychic types. So yeah. Lastly, we have Flyboy. So Flyboy's job on this team is just to wall break for real. I actually never used Specs Flygon before, so I think it'll be really fun. A couple mons do take it, like Regice, of course, because it's like a defensive tank. Crest, of course, can eat every hit. Porygon too can probably take it. But still, my job with Flygon's job is just to like wear down, just to like break his team down a little bit. So yeah. Draco hits everything. His only fairy immunity is Mimikyu, and his only resistance is Stack Attacker. So Draco's gonna be hitting a ton. Earth Power is there to check Stack Attacker and also check like Marowak and such. And then U-Turn is there to gain some initiative. Tauntic is there to wear down his fat mons, and that is pretty much the team. Now who do I think he's gonna bring with him this week? I definitely see Kinkeldr because that mon really pressures Soul a lot, so I honestly see it coming. He's definitely gonna bring Crest because Crest is fat and Crest just eats every single hit, and you just get it can get Trick Room up without like any worries. I see Mega Ampharos coming because he knows that my only answer to it is really Flygon. So I can see him bringing it, like kind of like to sweep through and such. So Conk, Crest, Ampharos. Porygon 2 is definitely coming. He needs a fast mon type. I'm pretty sure Mimikyu's gonna come, and I think the last mon he could possibly bring. He could bring one of the regen core. He could bring like Reuniqueless, or he could bring Slowking. But yeah, that's what I think. So Conk, Crest, Ampharos, Mimikyu, Porygon 2, and either Slowking or Reuniqueless. That's my guess for this week. So I'm actually gonna be battling him pretty soon. So yeah, when you guys see it, it'll be when you guys see the team builder, it'll be tomorrow, my birthday, and when you guys see the battle, it'll be Friday. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch. Join my Discord, Bushido Gang, and subscribe for some more content. So yeah, peace out.